Welcome back to Boxing Hideout TV. I am your host, Juice8888 or Juice Bear. You can call me and I'll be good with it. This is Boxing Hideout TV, home of the ass whooping. Make sure you go to boxinghideout.com and subscribe. Also, any of the social forms, Twitter, Facebook, um, any of those, any of those would be sufficient. Today's topic, we are going to discuss Manny Pacquiao coming out about his past crystal meth use and how this admission is really more of a vindication for internet trolls from the past. I'm proud of Manny for talking about this, but once again, this is going to bring other issues to the table. So we're going to talk about that right now. Today, uh, at Boxing Hideout TV, we're going to discuss Manny Pacquiao and his talking about his past mistakes with crystal meth. Uh, Once again, this is Boxing Hideout. I'm your host, Juice8888. Make sure you visit boxinghideout.com, register there, and have discussion with some knowledgeable boxing fans there. And if you don't like this, make sure you defend yourself, stand up to them bullies. But other than that, you're going to have a good discussion about the sweet science. All right. Today we're talking about this article with, there's a whole bunch of articles, obviously, because of how the world is. But Manny Pacquiao decided to discuss his past um, issues with crystal meth. And this isn't going to be a bashing of Manny for his coming out about his past. He's running for election, so it's obvious that he wants to get all of his skeletons out of the closet. And he may have an agenda. He may want to focus a crime bill on drug prevention or something to that nature, whatever the case may be. Um, Kudos to him for discussing his uh, his past in front about that. Okay. Now, this is news worthy in 2021. Okay. It is. I understand that. But this issue was brought up years ago. And once again, I'm going to show this picture and I'm going to explain it in detail right here. Okay, I'm going to put this up. All right. Now, the picture in the black where he's smoked the crystal meth. Okay, big out the Hollywood Street Kings. This a picture came out years ago. Years ago. I think this was prior to the Floyd Mayweather fight. This was around the time it was um I would say this was around the time it was Manny versus Oscar around that time. So it was some years ago, some years back. That fight was a while back. Okay. Some of us people like me reported this issue and we were called trolls and haters and all this other stuff like that, and they said this is a lie and all this stuff like that. But many of these truths come from, or many of these so-called lies spawn from some essence of the truth somewhere down the road. and this could be for anyone's drug use or sexual misdeeds. You know what I mean? So I'm a big avid fan of just admit what your issues are up front, and so people can't use them as ammunition against you because you already got it off the got it on the table, man. They still can use the stuff against you depending on what it is, but it's stuff in secret. And this goes for me, man. I don't pretend to be sober all my life or uh, having some sort of uh, strange sexual fetish that just up one day when some woman came over. I don't know. Whatever the case may be, all I'm saying is this: kudos to Manny Pacquiao for being upfront about his drug issues. There's nothing. However, if we're gonna be honest here, let's discuss uh, the bigger picture in all of this. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of that picture. We're gonna discuss the bigger picture in this whole issue. Okay. Years I've maintained that once Roger Mayweather's allegations of steroid use with Manny Pacquiao, he hit it. Once the hint came out, damage control came for Top Rank in Manny. It was damage, 100% damage control. They went out of their way to defend this man's honor. They said he would never do such a thing. He's a Christian man. He goes to church and yada, 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 and all this other good stuff. But others, such as myself, were saying, how did this guy explain how did he come up from 126 pounds and carry his power and develop more of a chin than he had? How did his chin get better? How did he maintain his power? He fought Antonio Margarito as high as 150. So I'm sure there was some sort of catch weight, and I'm sure there was some sort of belt they made up out of nowhere. Either way, he fought Antonio Margarito, I believe, was almost a career 154 pounder. Okay, now I understand that he was faster than Margarito, so some of that was speed. So that's fine. That's fine. He's much faster than Margarito. So of course he's gonna land more and stuff like that. But how did you anyways, I'm not gonna talk about his chin. We're gonna talk about this. I have maintained for years that after the allegations came out about his PED use, the knockout stopped. The knockout stopped. From once stopping an undefeated, hungry Miguel Cotto to having life and death struggles with Jeff Horn. I understand you to knock him out. It was a boxing match. He didn't give you the 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 layout to put him out. You know what I mean? Can we revisit the PED issue now? Can we revisit the PED issue now? It's on the table. He's admitted that he's done some drugs. So what type of drugs has he done? Is it just crystal meth? I saw him partying with Paris Hilton. Paris Hilton's been caught with cocaine before. This man, the so-called Christian, was cheating on us with Paris Hilton. Was there drug use that night? When did the drug use stop? What made him stop? Go look at past fights of his, old fights, or like Rustico, Torrey Campo knocked him out, folded him up. Was he on crystal meth then, and then he got off crystal meth and focused his career on in life to boxing? Whatever the case may be, that's fine. All I'm saying is that we need to revisit the PED issue now that we know that um, Christian Manny is really meth head Manny. It's harsh to say it, but it's the truth. We can't sugarcoat truth if we don't need to. There's no need to here. There's no secret. He's coming out admitting it. What he didn't admit is his PED use. He said he was naive, which means that he's unaware of what he's putting into his body. Maybe he had a Panama Lewis type of dude would do it for him, just not say nothing. All I know is Meth Head Man. Uh, some said he's the greatest fighter of all time, and I maintain that the greatest fighter of all time can't have been knocked knocked out a whole bunch of times early in his and have a whole bunch of losses late in his career. At what point was he the greatest fighter of all time? And based on what? How could the greatest fighter lost to Jeff Horn or been knocked out by Rustico Torrey Campo or the other guy who was Singh Surat put him out, folded him up like an armchair. But this doesn't count because this was Meth Head Manny. This wasn't PED Manny. See, Meth Head Manny was pretty much a cab driver posing as a boxer. He didn't have any money for the good drugs, the good PEDs, so he had to use crystal meth as his. When we showed the picture, we were called all kinds of names, haters, uh, uh, trolls. They said the pictures are fabricated and make believe. Yeah, they may be make believe, but the story behind the picture is the truth. The picture they used to capture you in, to draw you into the article, is different than what reality sometimes. Okay, that's just the cover, but the actual truth of what was going on is there, and he finally came out and admitted it. For people who were called trolls years ago, this is a win for us. We told you, Mother Earth, what was going on with the Pinoy champion. Okay, I have no issue with Manny Pacquiao. Meth Head Manny was a great fighter. He has some very good wins on his resume. I don't use smoke and mirror comments with him other than the fact that some of his accomplishments seem a little Barry Bondish, if I must put it that way. But if you haven't been caught, then I don't have the right to accuse anyone of anything. So I don't accuse him of anything. All I'm saying is, can we please revisit the issue now that we know that Christian Manny is really Meth Head Manny? I want to find out if he was really Steroid Manny. I believe he was. Physics and science make it realistic believe that he was because of the circumstances. Once the allegation started, the knockout stopped. I give props to Roger Mayweather. Rest in peace. He called it correctly. We called it correctly. We told man's fan base years ago, hey, maybe he needs help. Maybe he needs rehab. Something might not be right with him. You know, instead of cheering him on for his ability to throw punches, cheer his spirit on his soul. Make sure you take care of the man and the person first. He still has a life after boxing. So if he's got a drug addiction or a use for PEDs, we need to sit Manny down as a community as a whole and explain to him the dangers of steroid use and the long term effects of crystal meth and all these hard drugs that he's taking. I understand now why he was getting knocked out all the time. I understand why he was driving a cab at the time. I understand why he didn't have access to the designer steroids at the time. His success brought in money and notoriety to the country, and from that, he was able to take that money, which he made, and help people build a better life for themselves. Him, and for him, it meant using performance enhancing drugs to better his performances. It worked because he never been caught. Okay. However, once again, what I mean, he came out and discussed it, and now people like me feel vindicated, and that's all it is. That's all it is. Meth Head Manny is allowed to abuse whatever drugs he wants. He's allowed to be as clean as he wants. I would prefer that he stay clean if he's going to be a president and leading a nation of people. However, the people there have a right to say, "Hey, listen, man, how do we know that you've gotten off of whatever it is you been doing to yourself?" By the way, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video and share it with as many people as you know uh, that enjoy the sport of the sweet science. Enough. Back to the subject. Um, Meth Head Manny is a great fighter. I don't have anything uh, against him as a fighter or as a human being. Um, there's says things, and I actually totally agree with his views, and so for that, I respect him as the man. All I'm saying is we need to revisit the PED use accusations because from what we see now, naive is the excuse that he's going to use for why he abused drugs. If he was naive for abusing drugs like that, then I assume he's intelligent for the drugs he has to put in his body to be a fighter. Okay, and that's all I'm saying is um, shout out to boxinghideout.com. This is Boxing Hideout TV, home of the ass whooping. We are not here to bash Manny Pacquiao. We are proud of him for his turning his life around. If he has, if he's not on any drugs and he's serving the community as a responsible member and setting a good example for the young ones, then I can't be mad at him for his past discretions. This post is not a bashing of Manny Pacquiao, but more of a celebration to the trolls who were telling you years ago that something wasn't right. We were once again ridiculed, laughed at. Oh, that's fake news and it's not real. Okay. Okay. If you say it's not real, I can't do nothing about that. All I know once again is he admitted to one thing, but not the other thing. And so we're going to try to see if we can drag the other thing out of Manny because uh, inquiring minds want to know. We want to know if he bet on his own fights. If that's the case, how serious was his drug condition? How deep was his steroid use? These are topics for another discussion on another day. Once again, like the videos and subscribe to the channel. This is Boxing Hideout TV, home of the ass whooping. I am your host, Juice 8888, and we are gonna sign out for right now, but I'll be coming back with more heat telling you some real stuff, dropping them facts on you. I'll explain all that stuff later. But anyways, you guys enjoy your day, handle your business, and see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the videos. I'm your host, Juice8888, aka Juice Berry. Get to boxinghideout.com immediately and go to all of our social stuff. Just support the channel, and we're gonna keep bringing it to you, the truth, every day. Enjoy yourself.